welcome back to my channel. I am Amber from Amber's Books and More, and today I have books I'll probably never read, 2018 releases. I do want to do one of these for books that are already out that I think I'll never read, and actually some of these 2018 releases are part of a series, and so I won't read the series either. But small disclaimer, I'm not saying that any of these books are bad or that you shouldn't read them. A lot of the reasons on these books is just because there are so many in the series and so many to catch up to that it's just too much for me. So I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm saying I'll probably never read it, but never say never. So I'm over to the side so that I can put pictures of any covers I might have over here. But let's just jump right in and get started on this. So the first one I want to talk about is the Throne of Glass series. I'll put the picture of the Throne of Glass first book here, but there is a new book coming out in 2018, and it is, or maybe 2019, I'm not sure yet, but it says like number 7, and it's currently untitled on Goodreads. But there's so many books in the Throne of Glass series that I just don't see myself catching up to get to book number 7. I mean, that's just kind of ridiculous. So I'm not even gonna throw myself into that. I'm just gonna stay away from those. I'm gonna continue to read her Court of Thorns and Roses, and maybe if any new series come out. But this series is just too far in. I just can't. Ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I'm saying? So the next one I want to talk about is Restore Me. So this is kind of a new beginning of a trilogy for the Shatter Me series, and I do have Shatter Me that I wanted to eventually get to. I don't know if I ever will, because now that, like, when series have so many books and when you come into it when there's already 3 or 4 or 5 out, it makes me anxious. And so with this being like, it's so divided in the community. There's people that absolutely love it, and there's people that absolutely hate it, and there's people that are saying, oh, the first book is shit. And I'm like, what? But I only have the first book, so if I read the first book, it's not gonna no, I'm just not gonna do it. I just probably will not do it. Though I will say that I think personally that the cover for Restore Me is beautiful. I know a lot of people disagree with me, Dallin, but I think it's beautiful. So the next book, the next one isn't a book. The next one is an author. There's an author that I could see at least 3 books coming out in 2018, and there's just too much controversy on this guy, and he's got so many books out that it overwhelms me. And it's just, he's gone on he things that he said, and that the things that he said is not the reason that I'm not going to read him. That's part of it, but that's not just the only reason. But he writes high fantasy, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to you know, but who I'm talking about is Brandon Sanderson. So he wrote the what are they called? He wrote a lot of series. I'll put one that's really popular up here that are the white UK covers. I can't remember the name of it. And I've heard that the books are great. I have. And I'm not saying he's not a great writer, because he probably is, but I'm just not in the mood. And I haven't been in the mood this year, and I know that with me focusing more on my own writing, that I'm not going to be in the mood for high fantasy in that level next year. So I'm just probably never going to read any of his books that he's putting out in 2018. Sorry if that offends you. I'm so sorry. So the next one is also covered in controversy, but the reason that I don't want to read its sequel is not because of the controversy. So it's the Carve the Mark, and from what I can find, the second book is still untitled. But she is putting out a book number 2 in this, and just reading through the synopsis before all of the controversy started on this book, I wasn't interested in it because it just doesn't sound like something that I would enjoy, and I'm trying very hard to only read books that I know I will enjoy. So for that reason alone, I'm not going to read this second book, because it's just not for me. And now with the controversy, it's hard to even say you want to read a book, or people will like attack you. But either way, I'm probably never going to read the Carve the Mark books. So the next series is the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. Here is book 1. Book 2 also has a cover. I'll put it here, and it is called War Storm. It's not book 2. It's like book 3 or 4. I don't know. But I think it's book 3. You'll see it here. It'll tell you. I'll tell you if it's book 3. I think it's book 3. But off of that subject, I noticed that I've started to read books that are like the same book, and I think that this one is very similar. I don't think I'll absolutely 100% never read this, but probably not, just because it's getting to where there's so many books in it that it's starting to overwhelm me, the thought of reading them. But these haven't, the covers are gorgeous, don't get me wrong, I love the covers, but the premise is cool. I just don't think I'm gonna have time to get to these within 2018. So the next one is probably going to be a little controversial, just because I know so many people love these books and this author. But there's another book coming out, and I think that it is the last of a trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. But it is the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. So the next one's coming out is The Last Hours? No, that's not it. But the newest one is coming out in 2018. I'll put a cover of it here. And I know a lot of people have jumped on this. It's dystopian, and I love dystopian, and I do think that I would enjoy his books. But it's just that, I don't know. I'm just getting out of wanting to read such hyped books. And they're very, very, very hyped. And so I probably won't read it in 2018 or ever. And I don't want... So the next book that I'm going to be working on is not exactly a dystopian, but it has dystopian elements, and I don't want his book to affect the story that I have and affect my writing, because I don't want to just copy. I want to do the story that I have in my head. So for those reasons, and just because it's so hyped and too many books are coming out, like, can you tell what my anxiety is based on? Like, when I have to catch up, it kind of gives me anxiety. Yeah, so I'm probably not going to be reading those. So the very last one that I want to talk about is definitely going to cause some hate. But so Cassandra Clare has decided to start another new series in the Shadowhunter world. Oh, there's so many. There's so many. And every time that you think about wanting to read any of her books, you're like, no, you have to start from the beginning and go, and you have to work through 100 books to get there. Anxiety. Can't do it. Can't. I wish her well, and I'm sure that it's going to do well, and it's going to be much loved. And by the way, I think it's called The Last Hours. The Last Hours series. I don't think that the first book is titled yet, but if it is, I'll put a cover up here, if like the one from Goodreads that has like cover coming soon, if it has the title. But if not, then I'll just put another random. What are you looking at? Is it random or is it that one? I don't know yet. Editing Amber hasn't taken over. But there's just too much. I do want to read the Clockwork Angel Princess books, because they have more of a steampunk element. But other than that, and they're prequels, so other than that, I don't think I'm going to read any of them. I'm sorry. That's all I have for you today. So leave a comment. Let me know if any of these books you agree with or disagree with, and why I should read them if you think I should. So until next time, have a great day wherever you are. And I love you. Bye.